During Black History Month, the Crummell Cooper chapter of the Union of Black Episcopalians is sharing interviews of the formerly enslaved who lived in Virginia. In 1936, an all-Black unit of the Virginia Writers Project collected these narratives, tales of horror. Many of these interviews have been lost to time. However, there's still those that exist. One of those interviews was posted, and a member of Calvary Episcopal Church in Washington, D.C. commented that her great aunt had been interviewed. I asked for her aunt's name, which she provided, and that the interview was in the book Weevils in the Wheat, which is the book we are using. I mean, it's not often when you have a personal connection with one of the people whose interviews you share. Denise shared she spent time with her aunt, who was about 90 years old. So today we honor another ancestor. I will read portions of the interview of Elizabeth Eliza Sparks, who was born in 1841 and was interviewed in 1937. Come on, boys. Sure, I'm glad to see you. You're looking so well. That's what I say. Fight, boys. Hold 'em. You're doing all right. Me, I'm so mean, nothing can hurt me. What's that? You want me to tell you about slavery days? Well, I can tell you, but I ain't. It's all past now, so I say, let her rest. Too awful to tell anyway. You're too young to know all that talk anyway. Well, I'll tell you some to put in your book, but I ain't going to tell you the wuss. My mistress's name was Miss Janie Brown. No, I guess I better not tell you. Don't forget about that. Oh, well, I'll tell you. Some, I guess. She died about 4 years ago. Bless her. She was a good woman. Course, I mean, she'd slap and beat you once in a while, but she wasn't no woman for fighting, cussing, and beating you all day like some I know. She was too young when the war ended for that. Course, no white folks perfect. Her parents a little rough. What that? Can I tell you about her parents? Lord, yes. I wasn't born then, but my parents told me. But I ain't gonna tell you nothing. No, I ain't. Take no sense to you know about all them mean white folks. They all dead now. They mean good, I reckon. Leastways, most of them got salvation on their deathbeds. Well, I'll tell you some, but I ain't gonna tell you much more. No, sir. Shep Miller was my master. His old father, he was a tough one. Lord, I seen him kill him. He get the meanest overseers to put over him. Why, I remember time after he was dead when I peep in the closet and just see his old clothes hanging there, and I'd just fly. Yes, sir, I'd run from them clothes, and I was just a little girl then. He was that way with them black folks. Is he in heaven? Nah, he ain't in heaven. Went past heaven. He was a clerk, and he was tough. Sometimes he beat them until they couldn't work. Give them more work than they could do. They get beaten if they didn't get the work done. Bought my mother, a little girl, when he was married. She was a real Christian, and he respected her a little. Didn't beat her so much. Of course, he beat her once in a while. Shep Miller was terrible. There was no end to the beating. I saw it with my own eyes. Beat women. Why, sure he beat women. Beat women just like men. Beat women naked and wash them down in brown. Sometimes they beat them so bad they just couldn't stand it, and they would run away to the woods. If you could get to the woods, they couldn't get you. You could hide and people would slip you a little something to eat. Then he'd call her every day. After a while, he'd tell one of the colored foremen Tell her come on back. He ain't going to beat her anymore. They had colored foremen, but they always have a white overseer. Hmm. Foreman get her to come back, and then he beat her. He beat her to death again.